Good morning. Before I call the meeting to order, I want to note for the record that I will serve as the acting chairman of this meeting. I now call to the meeting of the New York John Authority, business as the Empire State Development Corporation for Tuesday, June 30th, 2015. The members have received the written materials in advance of this meeting. They are free to ask questions at any time. As noted on the agenda posted to the internet, we welcome public comment on the items on the following agenda. To ensure maximum opportunity for participation, speakers representing themselves may speak up for 2 minutes each, and those representing groups may speak up to 4 minutes, one speaker per group. Speakers' comments may address only items considered at today's board meeting. Before we begin with the substantive portion of the meeting, I would like to ask the members whether anyone has any potential conflict of interest with respect to today's agenda items. If so, I would ask you to please make an appropriate disclosure on the record at this time. We will then be sure to make sure you can recuse yourself from any discussion or vote with regard to such items. Does anyone have any potential conflicts of interest they want to raise? Okay, great. Thank you very much. I will now ask for a motion to approve the minutes of the April 8th members' meeting.
Motion.
Second.
Great. Got a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Great. Thank you very much. Now I'll ask Kathleen Mize to present an item relating to the JDA's annual financial reports.
Thank you and good morning. The Public Authorities Law requires annual approval by the authority members and certifications by the Chief Executive Officer and the Chief Financial Officer or other designated finance officer of certain financial reports. The reports consist of financial information set forth in the combined financial statements and independent auditor's report, the audit report as prepared by the authority's independent audit firm, Tosky & Company, P.C. The audit report for the fiscal year ended March 31, 2015 contains an unmodified, clean opinion reflecting that the combined financial statements present fairly, in all material respects, the financial position, results of operations, and cash flows of the authority. In addition, the independent auditor's report on internal control over financial reporting and on compliance, addressing whether control deficiencies or material weaknesses in internal control exist, did not identify any deficiencies that would be considered material weaknesses. The audit firm was able to obtain reasonable assurance that the authority's financial statements are free of material misstatement by performing tests of compliance with certain provisions of laws, regulations, contracts, and grant agreements, including the authority's investment guidelines and other matters. Non-compliance with any of these could have had a direct and material effect on the financial statements. The testing revealed no instances of non-compliance or other matters that are required to be reported. Included in the materials presented is the complete audit report for the fiscal year ended March 31, 2015. The preparation of the audit report included approximately 21% participation by an MWBE firm. The audit committee of the authority has reviewed and approves the audit report. I and Doug Zimmerman, managing partner of Tosky & Company, our audit firm, are available to answer any questions anyone may have. Thank you.
Great. Thank you, Kathleen. Are there any questions from any of the members regarding this item? No? Great. It's always great to have a nice, clean bill of health.
Yes.
Thank you very much, and thank you to Tosky. Appreciate all your hard work on this. Thank you, Kathleen, and your team. Always, again, great work. So, are there any questions or comments from the public regarding this item? If not, I'll entertain a motion for approval.
Motion.
Second.
Second. Great. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none. Great. Thank you very much. Benson Martin and Ray Salabarios will now present the item which relates to the annual re-examination of JDA's mission statement and acceptance by the members JDA's fiscal year 2014-2015 performance measurements report. Benson?
Thank you. I am requesting the acceptance of the mission statement performance measurement, and Ray Salabarios requesting the acceptance of the fiscal year 2014-15 performance measurement report. Before I continue, I just want to note there's a slight typo in the materials. It only states the reapproval of the mission statement, when it should say the reapproval of the mission statement and performance measurement. So that would be correct. That would be circulated. So I'll read the mission statement and performance measurement into the record, and then I'll let Grace Alvarez present the report. JDA mission statement is the New York Job Development Authority spurs job growth and capital investment in New York State by using the authority granted to it and by leveraging state-guaranteed bonds to support low-interest loans to manufacturers and other targeted industries throughout New York State. And JDA's performance measurements are annual number of transactions closed, aggregate value of bonds issued, number of jobs created with investment transactions, amount of capital investment leverage, number of transactions, number of transactions involved, and finally, number of transactions approved by the authority during the reporting period. Right.
During the year 2014-2015, the authority continued its efforts to expand the authority's loan portfolio and awareness of the authority's products in the lending and business communities throughout the state. During this period, the members approved loans for 8 projects, evidencing firm commitments from responsible financial sources for the total project cost, exclusive of any request from the authority. Pursuant to Article 8 of Title 8 of the Public Authorities Law, these projects were approved prior to their actual commencement. Closing on the authority's loan disbursement of its funds occurs upon project completion. The total JDA board approved amount of the 8 loans is $23,829,300. I must note it generally takes 7 months for more than a year to complete a typical project subsequent to approval by the authority, because job creation and retention and the measurement of capital investment leverage can only be properly done after project completion and closing. The projects approved by authority this year have not yet resulted in reportable job creation, retention, or capital leverage. It is noted that staff made significant efforts to identify and analyze transactions that for various reasons staff determined were not eligible for presentation. That comes out to 7 loan requests that we looked at and did not present to the board because we didn't think it would meet the board criteria. 0 transactions were in default during fiscal year 2014-2015. The authority issued no bonds during this reporting period.
I have a question. What about any transactions being delinquent? Was anything delinquent?
No. To date,
Today?
Today we've been good.
Okay.
But Ray, I have a question. It says here 0 transactions were in default, but it's not clear to me what that means. Is that just referring to the ones that were done in 14-15, or there are no transactions that are currently in default throughout the entire JDA portfolio?
Right.
I don't believe that is true. So can we clarify this statement here? Because it leads one to believe that there are no transactions that are currently in default that have ever been issued by the JDA.
Well, my understanding is we take default as someone who's 90 days past due in payment. At this point, from my understanding, this year, none of the JDA loans that we approved in the past are 90 days past due. But I'll double check that and get back to the board.
And, yeah, because I thought we had some delinquent ones that we discussed last year. And were they all brought current?
The way I was led to understand it, at this point, we have no delinquent loans on the JDA portfolio.
We can double check.
I'll double check it though.
We can double check with Robin History.
All right.
Good question. Thank you, guys. Any other questions from the members? Any other questions or comments from the public?
I just would like to say that I think the 8 loans of 24 million shows that, that Ray and his group have really done a great job in stepping up their production.
No doubt.
And this, it's taken a while to get it all together, and this is great evidence that it really has been doing great. So I just wanted to commend you and your staff, Ray, for doing a good job on this.
Thank you. I agree. I'll second that. Okay. Perfect. Do I have a motion to approve this item?
Motion. Second.
Excellent. All in favor?
Aye.
All right?
Any opposed? Great. Thank you very much. Continuing with the agenda, I'll ask Anton Fadagian to present the JDA 2015 revised JDA procurement guidelines for your approval. Anton?
Thank you, Mayor Hall. Good morning. The members may recall that every year JDA is required to update its procurement guidelines under the Public Authorities Law, and this requirement exists so that the authority has an opportunity to incorporate any changes in statutes or executive orders that have been issued over the course of the preceding year that would have an impact upon the way JDA contracts for goods and/or services. This year, there have been no real substantive changes to any of those laws or executive orders that would merit any substantive changes to the procurement guidelines. So consequently, what you have before you is essentially what you approved last year with some minor changes. The members are also reminded that each year we do this in lockstep with ESD, given that JDA operates under ESD's umbrella, and these guidelines are a mirror image of what was recently approved by the ESD Board of Directors. Thank you.
Any questions?
I have a question. When you say primarily and essentially and just a few minor, could you just explain like what a minor change
Yeah,
would be?
a minor change would be the requirement that bid openings take place at the procurement department office or such other places directed by the procurement officer. This is essentially, we have our procurement team. They meet at the place where the head of the team directs them to meet during a bid opening. We haven't called them a quote-unquote procurement department office, but this change in nomenclature was brought on by changes in the law over the past year. So substantively, the process of reviewing, of holding a bid opening hasn't changed, but how we're labeling the gathering is really what the change has been. So that was pretty much the change this year. Nothing too radically different than what happened.
Does that
last
impact titles of people, or do you add a new department? Or
No,
something?
no. It's the same folks
It's just what
doing
you
the same
call it.
thing. Yeah.
Thank you.
So, you know,
Any other questions from the members? If not, any comments from the public with regard to this item? If not, I'll entertain a motion for approval.
Second.
Great. All in favor?
Aye.
Excellent. Any opposed? Great. Thank you very much. And now Ray Salaveras will present the remaining item on today's agenda. Before Ray begins his presentation, I would like to note that this item has already analyzed and approved for the presentation to the board by the Finance Committee members, which we appreciate their time to do that. Ray, please present the Modern Marketing Concept item.
Thank you, Mahmoud. The loan request before the members is to LDCS LLC for the benefits of Modern Marketing Concepts, Inc. The company is located in the southern tier in Broome County. The loan amount requested is $5 million. LDCS LLC is a real estate holding company established in 2006 by Daniel and Lisa Babcock to purchase and renovate real estate in Binghamton, New York for the benefit of Modern Marketing Concepts. LDCS currently owns one 75,000 square foot property located at 29 Industrial Park Drive in Binghamton, New York, and its sole tenant is Modern Marketing Concepts. Upon completion of the project, Modern Marketing Concepts will relocate to the renovated facility at 265 Industrial Park Drive and pay rent to LDCS. LDCS will then rent out 29 Industrial Park to a new tenant. Founded in 1986, Modern Marketing Concepts is a global sales optimization company that provides marketing, technology, sales, and fulfillment services. The company integrates its clients' world-class brands with data, technology, and exceptional people to produce measurable sales growth. Using data-driven, digitally focused, multi-channel campaigns, the company produces over $1 billion in direct sales for its clients annually. Modern Marketing Concepts has been fortunate to become the sales growth engine behind some of the biggest and most important companies in the medical device, pharmaceuticals, and building product markets. from generations-old manufacturers to Fortune 500 company, the company has become partners with exceptional companies and has helped to exchange the way they market and sell their products. The project includes the acquisition of 265 Industrial Park Drive by LDCS and extensive renovation of that building. The completed project will have modern marketing concepts serve as the anchor tenant. Renovations to include asbestos removal, curtain walls, modifications, and exterior renovations, and some site work improvements. The building at 265 Industrial Park Drive has a footprint that requires sizable repair but holds value as a multi-tenant corporate services park. It easily holds 1,000 employees, has secured parking, and contains additional infrastructure that, once repaired, can continue well into the century as a leading option for Greater Binghamton corporations and employees. This facility will give Modern Marketing Concepts the ability to compete with other world-class employers and allow the company to partner with state and local education institutions such as Binghamton University, Cornell, Ithaca, and Cortland State to find and hire the best students in the region and beyond. JDA staff performed a site visit on April 14th and 15th to tour the existing operations of the proposed facility acquired, and to talk with Daniel Blackstock about the JDA request and expansion project. Binghamton, New York, like many upstate communities, has lost a significant portion of its manufacturing jobs in recent decades. The region's defense-based employers, such as Lockheed Martin, were forced to reduce the size of their workforce as federal defense spending was cut. Meanwhile, high-tech employers, including IBM and Interconnect, have also reduced employment significantly in the region. The manufacturing decline has contributed to the city's high rates of unemployment and poverty compared to statewide averages. The JDA loan of $5 million will be part of a total New York State offer of $10.8 million for the project, including a $5 million EDF grant and up to $800,000 in Excelsior tax credits. JDA staff and JDA Finance Committee acknowledge the risk posed by the Modern Marketing Concepts loan request. However, as outlined throughout the loan report, there are factors that mitigate these risks. JDA staff and the JDA Finance Committee are mindful of the JDA's mission and the statutory goals of the JDA Act, namely the creation of jobs throughout New York. Although this is a very risky request, JDA Finance Committee are recommending full JDA board approval, based in no small part on the job creation numbers that the proposed project will produce and the overwhelming positive impact these jobs will have on the southern tier region of New York State. Thank you, and I'll take any questions now.
Great, thank you, Ray. Any questions for the members?
I just would like,
Go ahead with that, Mario.
Yeah, I was going to ask questions about the job numbers that are here. It's an impressive number of jobs that are projected. I think it was 590, give or take. Ray, do you know specifically what those job titles are, what the salaries are, that kind of thing?
Yes, we have that report. Right. Well, the summary positions, I mean, they're different job titles, and we looked at high performance output center title, inside sales professionals, operations, starting at $45,000. The average salary is going to be anywhere between $55,000 for all the jobs being created. We've spoken to him about making sure he's contacting the local job center in Binghamton to make sure that the Department of Labor is intricately involved with trying to source those jobs for local residents. And so if this project is approved, we're going to work very closely with the company to make sure that we work with the labor to get the Department's labor list of specifically of individuals who can be viable candidates for these positions.
Great. Thanks, Ray. You actually answered my second question before I even asked it.
That's great. Emily?
I just wanted to say that one thing the Finance Committee considered, because we do think it is a riskier loan than normally we finance, is that the amount of support that it's getting from ESD and from the county IDA. So there is a great deal of governmental support that we're joining, and that gave us additional comfort in approving this transaction. And I just wanted to be sure that the rest of the board was aware of that.
Yeah, thank you, Emily, that's very helpful. Great. Any other questions or comments from the members? Okay, any comments from the public? All right. Then, can I have a motion for this item?
Motion.
Second?
Great, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Terrific, that passes. And then lastly, I'd like to note that the annual investment reports is being provided to the members for your information, and no formal presentation will be made. This is the last item in your book. If you do have questions, don't be afraid to ask us after the meeting's over. And there being no further business, may I have a motion to adjourn this meeting?
Motion.
Second.
Terrific. Thank you, everyone, for your participation in today's meeting. And a special thanks to Adam and Emily and all of you for accommodating our schedules to get this meeting done by June 30th. And extra special thanks to staff, Debbie Royce and others for doing yeoman's work to make sure that we could pull this meeting off and getting the video connection, and for folks taking time out of their vacation to be here. We thank you, Adam, Emily as well,
Sure, no problem.
and Mario and Jen as well. Thank you guys all for being here.
And I apologize for being late.
Not a problem. We're glad you made it. Everyone have a happy 4th.